God is never done with you. He's never done with you. And so often we like these parts of our lives that, well, this is just who I am. This is just my personality. I'm just brash, or I just tell it like it is, or I'm always kind of insecure in rooms of people. But God is pressing and saying, no, I want to keep growing you and changing you and redeeming those personality traits and those stories that you have into something that continues to build the church up in love. Now, let me give a caveat here as an encouragement. This takes time, and often your maturity and your growth is much slower than you'd like. Have you had that thought? I had this thought this last week. It's like, I hate that I still struggle with sins that I struggled with when I was 18. I just hate it. I just want to be done with some of these sins that I think I should be past. You've had that feeling where you're thinking, I know this sin is irrational. I know this sin is stupid. And yet I find myself back at it and repenting of the same thing again and again and again. John Piper has a great line of saying, he doubts the existence of God most because of the slowness of his sanctification. He talks about how he struggles with God's existence most when he just sees himself repeating the same sins, repeating the same errors over and over again, and wondering why he isn't growing faster. So I want to give you this text of encouragement. When Jesus talks about the four soils, in Matthew and Mark he talks about how the good soil produces an actual crop. And then Luke's gospel, Luke adds 2 words at the end of the good soil that I think is helpful for us to know that it's going to be slow. Luke 8:15. Here's what Jesus says in this particular gospel. In Luke's account, he has this. He says, as for that in the good soil, so they are those who, hearing the word, hold it fast in an honest and good heart. And that last line's encouraging for us, and bear fruit with patience. So it's easy to get discouraged when you're not growing, to think something's wrong with me, something's off. And what does he say? He says, the good soil are those who hold it fast. You hold fast the word of God, even when you struggle, even when you fail. And it says you bear fruit with patience. So there will be seasons where fruitfulness just seems you're growing a ton. Maybe you're in one of those right now where you just feel like God is changing everything in your life and you're growing like everything's up and to the right now spiritually. But there are going to come seasons where it goes down. There are going to come seasons where it just kind of plateaus. And you're like, I don't feel like anything's happening. I'm reading the Bible and it's fine, but I don't feel like I'm changing at all. And even in those seasons, he's saying you hold fast to it and you will bear fruit over time with patience. But you have to know, for that to happen, you have to seek out maturity. Maturity is not just going to happen in your life, and you've got to know, even as a Christian, your tendency is you're going to want to drift towards immaturity.